Hello friends, Ben.o.cichlid here. Thank you for tuning in. I'm doing a follow-up video with you on the Hygger Bi-Lateral hang-on back. It's been the key filter on this discus 55-gallon discus grow-out tank, and it's been doing a good job. The water quality is excellent, and there are some pluses and minuses to that hang-on back filter that I want to go over with you now that I've had a chance to run it for a while. So first of all, let me just give you some basic specs. It's recommended for aquariums between 30 and 70 gallons. So technically I could just have one bilateral on here, but because I'm running high temps with my discus, I'm feeding them more because their metabolism is really wound up, right, with the high temperature. So I'm feeding them more. There's a bigger bioload, so I wanted to overfilter a bit. So I've got two of the bilaterals on there, listed at about 264 gallons per hour with 10 watts of power consumption. 264 with 10 watts of power consumption. And that comes in at about $48. Not bad, not bad. Now, comparing that to a couple of the more popular models out there, let's look at Seachem Tidal. A Seachem Tidal 75, recommended for a 75 gallon, will move 350 gallons of water, comes in at about $66, so about roughly 18 bucks more, and uses 8 watts of power. So if I had two of those on here, I'd be moving 700 gallons of water an hour as opposed to 528 gallons of water. And I'd be using 16 watts instead of 20. A Marineland Bio Wheel, the 350B, 60 bucks, 20 watts, 350 gallons per hour. Comparable. And I have bio wheels running on several tanks. They're workhorses, they run forever. How about an Aqua Clear? A lot of folks like Aqua Clear. The Aqua Clear 70, recommended for tanks between 40 and 70 gallons, like the bilateral. 58 bucks, so you'll pay about $10 more. Runs on 5 watts, super efficient, and moves 300 gallons per hour. Might be the best compromise when you look at all of it. The new Emperor 450 is moving 450 gallons an hour for $62. The new Emperor Pro 450, moving 450 gallons of water for, actually I take it back, that one is $87. So you'll pay almost twice as much. And it looks like they're using about 23 watts. You're probably better off going with 2 Seachem Tidals or 2 Aqua Clears. If you need to move that much, 900 gallons an hour, that's a lot of water turnover. But for this 55 gallon, these 2 bilaterals have been moving plenty of water. Now, let me cover with you what I like about them and what I don't like about them. First of all, one of the things I love about them is that they're super quiet. They're really, really quiet. I also like the look of them. They have a good, clean design, a good, clean look, and they're very, very easy to work on. Here's what I don't like about them. They come with these cartridges. They come with 8 of these, 4 to be used immediately and 4 as backup. These cartridges clog up very, very quickly. Now that's going to be partly driven by your bioload, right? How much you're feeding, the waste of your fish. But I find that they clog up real quick, and they're almost impossible to disassemble and to take apart. Really, really difficult to separate and pull out the sponge, and that this little carbon compartment here is sort of built in or glued on, so you really can't remove that carbon section. So I rinsed it a couple times, and it just would clog up after about maybe 5 or 6 days. I would start to get water overflowing in the middle compartment. Another plus point about these is they tell you when they're clogged up. There's no question about it. The middle compartment will overflow. So it was clogging up at least once a week, compared to, let's say, my marine land threes. I can run them for a month and with a comparable or greater bioload. But I solved that problem, and I'll show you how I solved it. I'm going to ditch these, and I alluded to this when I first put that filter in place. I was going to ditch these, and I am ditching them. And what I've done, these are pieces of filter material. These are cut from leftover pieces from Swiss Tropicals. When you get sponge material from Swiss Tropicals, they'll cut the pieces to what you request, and they'll send you the leftover pieces. So I've got a lot of this material. So I've got this that I've cut to shape, and then I've got this white material here, which is finer, and that is just some of the Aquarium Co-op fine poly pads. And so what I've done is I've cut these, and I've replaced the factory provided cartridges have now been replaced by the blue material in the back, cut so it fits nice and snug, and a poly pad in front. And it's doing an excellent job. Cleaning is just pulling them out, rinsing them under water, and dropping them back in. But you notice here this overflow compartment is running really low. So these would have, if these had been the usual cartridges, this hang-on back would already be overflowing right here in this middle section. There'd already be water cascading through here. So it's going to run longer. Now, the other side of that coin is you could say that because these things clog up quickly, it means that they're doing a good job. It means that they're capturing detritus. You could make that argument. But this is going to do just as good a job, I think, probably better, and run for longer before I need to pull it out. This one still has the old material in it. This middle compartment is still low, so this one still has maybe a week, 3 or 4 days or a week to go. And then I'll just pull these out and I'll toss them. They're in good shape right now. I put a new set in, but that's the last set. I've gone through all the sets. So I'll replace that with the same sponge combination I have in the other one. And with that tweak, this hang-on back is much more effective, much more efficient, and a lot easier to maintain. So Hygger, I suggest that you get rid of the impossible to clean cartridges and just replace them with something like this. Very simple, right? Very simple. And if not, if you want to pick up one of these filters, just get a hold of some of this. You can get this, of course, at the Aquarium Co-op, and you can buy pieces of sponge and custom cut them yourself. eBay has them. Look for pond sponges, pond filter sponges, and you'll find sponge material. It's not going to be quite as high quality as the stuff you get from Swiss Tropicals, but it'll work. It'll do the job. So there you go. I fixed your hang-on back, Hygger. You're welcome. And otherwise, it's quiet. It looks great. The wattage consumption is acceptable, and it's doing a great job keeping this discus tank clean. So there you go, folks. What do you think? What's your favorite hang-on back? Tell me in the comments below, and maybe I'll get my hands on one and do a review. All right, thank you for watching, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.